a beautiful day in the neighbor pool. A beautiful day to be Deadpool. It's story time. Story time. Ah. We got any fans of Mr. Rogers out there today? All right, a lot of Mr. Rogers fans. I'm a pretty big fan of Captain America myself. Are you all ready for story time? Yeah! All right, that's good to hear, because I certainly have a story to tell. Gosh, I love to talk. Today's story is a beloved bedtime classic, mashed up with a very profitable licensing agreement. You guessed it, it's Cinderpool. Oh, thank you so much. Now that I got my reading glasses on, I can see all of your beautiful shining faces. And that doesn't work. Very good. All right, look how adorable these pictures are, by the way. Look how cute Dogpool is, huh? Thank you for saying, oh, I scribbled these myself. Once upon a time. You know what? It just feels wrong when I'm doing it with myself. Why don't we all say it together, shall we? 1, 2, 3. Once upon a time. Isn't that so much more fun and interactive when we're all in this together? For those of you that didn't participate, get your heads in the game. Sorry about that. Anyway, upon that time, once, Cinderpool lived in a big mansion with his shiny-headed step-professor and a bunch of hideous step-mutants. The biggest one, Colossus, was always making up stupid rules that no one cared about. Like, please stop labeling other people's food in the fridge with your own initials. And for the love of Feige, stop hanging your underwear from the ceiling fan. How else am I supposed to air that out? Well, anyway, the other main step mutant, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, such a cool name, was always just texting and rolling her eyes. They were both super jealous because Cinderpool had a much, and I do mean much, larger fan base. They don't call this story time with Colossus now, do they? One day, an expendable non-union extra came running across the mansion grounds, screaming. King Thanos was planning the biggest battle of Phase 3. The last truly relevant phase, Cinderpool desperately wanted to go to this big battle, but Colossus said, no, too dangerous. Cinderpool don't know how to be part of team. And then Colossus ripped up Cinderpool's nicest costume before Negasonic Teenage Warhead, again, such a cool name, made it explode into a million pieces with her mind powers. And then popped her gum, so Gen Z. On fleek, Sigma, no cap. Cinderpool was very bummed and felt very vulnerable and exposed. Minus 100,000 aura, as Negasonic would say. He ran out onto the mansion grounds and stumbling for dramatic effect. Oh, hello there, camera. When suddenly, a big, strange, sparkly circle appeared. And from out of that big, strange, sparkly circle walked out Cinderpool's very hairy god mutant, Wolverine! All right, come on, Logie Bear. You have to actually step through the big, strange, sparkly circle. Otherwise, the audience isn't going to know that you're here yet. Yes! Oh, this is great! I'm so excited we get to tag team this together. Wait a minute. Where's your cardigan? I made you a matching cardigan, Wolvie.
I shredded that.
Wow, that wasn't very demure of you. Wow, not very mindful at all. That's all right. We'll get started anyway. Oh, fairy, hairy god mutant Wolverine! I desperately want to go to the big battle, but my mean step mutants vaporize my costume.
Shut up.
Growled Wolverine lovingly.
What?
I need a new costume. I have to go to the big battle.
Just get another costume then. And stop writing me into these stories.
Okay, well, after that very sage and somewhat Australian advice, Cinderpool headed off to the wardrobe department to get a freshly laundered costume, and then went to the big battle. Cinderpool missed most of it, though, because he stopped for some delicious chimichangas along the way. You know, priorities. But rest assured, when Cinderpool got there, the Avengers were still winning. Oh, Captain America looked so cool and so ruggedly handsome in those pants. I love Mr. Rogers. And meanwhile, Cinderpool's fairy, hairy, god mutant Wolverine was...
I'm going to Pim's.
Oh, Pim's Test Kitchen. That honestly checks out. Everyone give it up for Wolverine! Thank you so much for coming, Logie Bear. Oh, that's all right. Honestly, I don't think Disney had the rights to him back then anyway, so this makes sense. Well, as the aliens were finally fleeing away in defeat, Cinderpool saw something on the steps of one of the spaceships. It was a single glove. Wow, this glove was so fancy, big and gold with beautiful jewels. I think there were 6 of them, that's really relevant information. I wonder who this fits, thought Cinderpool before trying it on. After some clicking, whizzing, and whirring, it adjusted right to Cinderpool's arm. Then, out of nowhere, Iron Man came flying in out of left field, screaming, "Please, take that off. This is my sacrifice to make, all right? I really don't want to be Iron Man until I'm 90. In fact, I would rather be doomed than be Iron Man again. Doomed, I tell you. Trust me, I'm just as confused as you guys are." And then other, much less relevant Avengers came running in too, saying things like, "Please put that down. That's not a toy. Whatever you do, do not snap." So obviously Cinderpool snapped. Oh, Cinderpool snapped a bunch, both physically and mentally. Then the weirdest thing happened. I don't know if it was related to Cinderpool's actions, but half of everyone kept disappearing, and then reappearing, and then disappearing again. So many people were crying. Tony said, "I love you" like 3,000 times, which is kind of weird. But eventually everyone did come back. Everyone except for those that text and call during a movie theater experience. We didn't want them back. But everyone else did. But then the Avengers tackled Cinderpool, ripped off his new favorite glove, and when they went on to remake the movie, they CGI'd Tony's head onto Cinderpool's majestic body, and it went on to become the most profitable film of the Feige cinematic universe. The FCU, as I like to call it. I know, I'm still workshopping that acronym. I feel like there's just one too many letters. Well, anyway, everything honestly worked out for old Cinderpool, because Cinderpool went on to start his own, even more successful franchise, yeah! Yeah, that's right, who's relevant now? It was so successful, in fact, that Cinderpool was eventually invited to be part of the Avengers Endgame 2. Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, in theaters at some point. Well, that's the end. Game, if you will. Thank you 3 people for being fans of puns, I appreciate that. And thank you all for coming to another illustrious story time with your new favorite Disney princess, Deadpool. Thank you so much. High five, civilian. There you go. Yeah, you too. Goodbye now. The whole front row is getting high five. Sorry, second row. Bye now.